All right, hello everyone. I thought I'd make a video that you could watch. We got to finish up some notes from yesterday going over LT1. Students can write and simplify algebraic expressions. All right, so let's look at, hopefully it's a familiar topic, order of operations. Okay, there are grouping symbols here, right? Parentheses and brackets, and even fraction bars. It's a grouping symbol, right? Because it splits it into a numerator and denominator, right? Here we have, when we're dealing with exponents, all right? I'm going to go over some examples in a little bit, but when we're dealing with exponents, right, simplify inside a grouping before dealing with exponents, okay? And so here you would do 2 to the third first, right? And then add the 5, but versus here, parentheses means you're going to add 5 and 2 first and then raise it to the third power, right? When we do multiplication and division, right, I'm going to talk about this again in a little bit. Multiplication does not take precedence over division, okay? We always work left to right when it's just multiplication and division, okay? And so here we have 12 divided by 2 and then times 4, right? I think a common mistake that I see is a lot of students want to do 2 times 4 first, okay, and then do 12 divided by that, okay? No, we just go left to right, okay? Same thing for addition and subtraction. Or, oh, there it is, a common mistake, okay? So for addition and subtraction, again, just going left to right, okay? 16 minus 10 first, and then add 3, we get 9. Common mistake is some students want to treat this as a positive 10, first of all, and then add that to the 3, right? We don't add first, okay? We just go left to right. Okay, so don't do that here, okay? Okay, when we talk about order of operations, we are evaluating, right? We're not solving, okay? Solving means like you're solving for a variable, okay? Evaluating means you're simplifying and calculating, okay? So when we talk about the order of operations, maybe you've heard of this phrase, PEMDAS, right? This is the order in which you evaluate, okay? So, you know, P stands for parentheses or groupings, E is exponents, M and D is multiplication and division, and addition and subtraction, okay? One thing that I want to clarify, and like I said, just because of this phrase, I think a lot of students think that multiplication comes before division. No, that's not the case, right? Both of these operations, multiplication and division, come before addition and subtraction, right? So when there's only multiplication and division, like we just said, we go left to right. And the same thing goes for addition and subtraction, okay? Okay, so here's just a quick review. All right, if you want to write this down, you can. If you feel like you know it, then you don't have to, okay? You know, P stands for parentheses, and here I said grouping, right? So it's not just parentheses, but if you have parentheses or a bracket or braces, you know, as long as things are grouped together, okay? All right, here, you know, this is based off a worksheet that we would have done maybe in school if we were in person, but what operation comes first, right? Here, if you want to pause it and try it on your own, you can, okay? Otherwise, I guess just keep watching, okay? So in part A, we talked about this, right? Here we see addition and subtraction, right? And again, addition does not mean, it doesn't mean that addition comes first, okay? So we're going to go left to right, and 16 minus 8 comes first, okay? In part B, we've got a grouping, right? A parentheses here. So this comes first, right? We're going to do 8 minus 6, and then 10 divided by 8 minus 6 after. And then in part C, again, we've got parentheses and a grouping, and so we're going to add 4 and 2 first. Okay. Evaluate the expression. All right, so there it is, evaluate, right? We're not solving, we're evaluating and breaking it down, okay? In part A, so we've got division and multiplication. We do not add the 5 and 3 first, right? This comes first here, 10 divided by 5. Then we've got 3 times 2, right? So 10 divided by 5 we know is 2. 3 times 2 is 6. And now we're going to add those, and that's 8. Okay. In part B, I'm noticing there's a grouping here, right? This is going to be our first thing that we do, right? So I have 12 plus 3 squared minus 2 times, and that's going to be 4, and then squared, right? So now we've got exponents, right? Now we're going to do 3 squared and then 4 squared. So that's going to be 12 plus 9 minus 2, and 4 squared, 4 squared we know is 16, so 2 times 16. Okay. And I'm noticing we have this 2 times 16. I'm going to multiply those. So we have 12 plus 9 minus that's 32. And now we go left to right, right? We have addition and subtraction left over, okay? If you want to show all your work here, you can, right? If we're going to go left to right, that's 21 minus 32, and that's going to be negative 11, okay? Again, at this point, if you want to pause it and try this last one on your own, you can, or you can just keep watching here. So here we don't have any groupings. I mean, in some sense, maybe we do. The division bar, the fraction bar is kind of like a grouping, right? It splits it into the numerator and denominator. And so I'm going to do my exponents first. 2 to the third power, we know that's 8, right? And then times 5. Over, and 3 squared is 9. And then we have 3 times 2, which is 6. Right? And then we have 8 times 5, so that's 40. And then 9 minus 6 is 3, right? And one thing I'm going to emphasize is, you know, especially in this class, we're going to leave fractions as, well, first of all, we're going to simplify fractions, okay? But we're going to leave it as improper fraction. All right, you know, most of the time we're not going to do decimals, or mixed number fractions, but we're going to leave it as an improper fraction here. Okay, and the last thing we're going to talk about is evaluating with substituting, right? So what is 5x to the fourth when x equals 2? So when I rewrite this, this is 5, and then it's a multiplication, and then 2 to the fourth, right? Common mistake here is someone's going to do 5 times 2 and then raise that to the fourth power. No, we're going to do the exponent first, right? I'm going to underline it, 2 to the fourth first. Okay, so we have 5 times, and 2 to the fourth I think is 16. Okay, so now we're going to multiply 5 and 16, which is 80. All right. Here in part B, all right, x equals 3. So this is going to be 5 times 3, and then squared. Okay. So now because the 3 here is inside the parentheses with the grouping, we're going to multiply this first, right? We're going to multiply that first. So 5 times 3 is 15. And then 15 squared, right? If you want to use a calculator, that's fine. That's going to be 225. Okay. So I hope that helped. You use this video as a reference, as well as the LT1 slides that I uploaded yesterday. And you're going to work on the Google form first, okay? And then the treasure hunt, all right? I uploaded a PDF file of 10 different stations for you to try, and those will be due by Friday, okay? I will give you instructions in Google Classroom on how to turn that in,